Well, I used to think like cowboys were like I used to think that that was like still a thing. When I was a kid, because first of all, we had a family friend whose name was Cowboy, and he literally stole a horse from my family. So I was like, wow, cowboys are real. Oh my god. Old saloons and stuff like that, like those are now. And like another reason I thought it is because we literally had a fucking bar down the road that was called like the Saloon or some shit like that. So, and it had like this little metal cutout of a cowboy. So I'm like, the Wild West is now. Yeah, I thought the Wild West was like still a thing. And like my family, we would go to Arizona sometimes to camp, like to go camping. And that only like furthered my belief that the Wild West was still alive and well. Driving through Nevada and Arizona, and you're like, oh, wow, the roads are still dirt. Oh my god, look at all these buildings. Look at this fucking old jail cell and stuff. Oh my god. Like as a kid, like you see them still standing and you're like, that's still in use. They're locking people up out here. They're fucking hanging them. Letter Zach Rolling, thank you. The full Oregon Trail experience minus dysentery. Everything lined up to gaslight you, yeah. First film about the shootout at the OK Corral had Earp, I think, as an advisor. Imagine Pippa pogging out about a tumbleweed going by. Oh, I was like, this is like the cowboy movies! This is where Clint Eastwood would live for 2 days before he started drifting again because he's a badass. And well, I wouldn't say badass. My parents would beat me. He's like, this is where Clint Eastwood would totally live for like a few days. And then he would go back on his way because he's a cool drifter. Yeah. And then there was like the old like miner cemeteries and stuff. Like while camping, we would stumble upon like the old miner cemeteries, and I was like, man, I bet people still come out here and like get buried here and stuff. Pippa the Lone Wolf Idolizer. Oh, hell yeah. I wanted to be that cool so bad as a kid. Not only was D thinking for dollars, the Wild West still exists. It's called Nebraska because no one lives there. Bro. Tumbleweeds are an invasive Russian plant, by the way. What? What? What the hell? You still want to be that cool? I still want to be that cool. But as a kid, I was like as a kid, I would try to like aura farm and stuff by being like a cool loner. And then it stopped being voluntary. And then I didn't have to try aura farming anymore because if I tried aura farming, I would look like even more of a loser. So I was like, eh. They just don't understand me. Nobody understands my greatness. It's okay. Okay, I'll become a niche internet micro celebrity someday. With a poncho? Dude. The beach towels. As a kid. Holy shit, dude. As a kid, I didn't have a poncho. But so there's like regular towels, right? There's like regular bath towels. And then there's the beach towels. And let me tell you about the beach towels. When you're like 4 foot tall, beach towels, holy shit, dude. Because they're like fucking 3 times the size of a regular bath towel. You can like fucking swing that shit over your shoulders and you can pretend like it's like a fucking syrup out of like the fucking Fistful of Dollars trilogy. Or like fucking, you can be Marty McFly like when he's wearing the syrup or the poncho or whatever the fuck you wore. I was like, oh my god, I'm so cool. I'm so cool. Running around with a beach towel done up like a cloak. I am so fucking cool. And then I got in trouble for dirtying the towels. Because they're kind of hard to clean. I think that's a universal childhood experience. My brother went as a cowboy for Halloween one year and used one of the towels as a poncho. I went as a cowboy for Halloween a few years. There were a few years I went as a cowboy. I had like a little horse that like you like slipped it, like you like slipped into like the middle of the horse and the horse was like around you. And then you could like hold the reins and stuff to keep the horse head up. And like that was like the greatest Halloween costume ever to me as a kid. I wore that for several years in a row. And then eventually like I grew out of like my regular like Western style clothing. And so my parents would take me like Halloween costume shopping at the dollar store sometimes. And so I got like a sheriff set from the dollar store one year. Another year I was actually a pirate, not to brag or anything. I was a dollar store pirate. But the fucking sheriff set was awesome because it even came with like a little sheriff badge. And I was like, yeah, I'm a sheriff, but also an outlaw. Yeah, not to brag or anything. But not only am I the good guy, but also I'm the bad guy. I kind of miss Halloween, but only like in the context of being a child and getting free candy and getting to stay up late. Now as an adult, I can just do that whenever I want and it feels decidedly less cool. Actually, it feels kind of pathetic.